This one here's called A Woman in Deer Camp. But, there's some things that men do better than women. And there's some things that women do better than men. Like childbirth and cooking and cleaning and sewing and taking out the garbage. And, that's female stuff, that sort of thing. I might be looked on by some as a womanizer or a sexist or a woman hater or something like that. But that's not true. I don't hate women. I love women. My mom was a woman. So's my sister and my wife and my girlfriend. I love women. What I'm getting at, there's just some places that a woman ain't got no business being in. And I'm talking about deer camp. That's a man's domain. Women should never be invited by their husbands to come along with the guys on a deer hunting trip. It just ain't done. So I wrote this in here called A Woman in Deer Camp, and it goes like this. Y'all know I am a traditional man. I ain't a racist, a sexist, or a prude. There's one place women got no place, and that's in a deer camp, dude. We got a guy in our circle of hunters, and he claims to be a redneck. He claims he asked his wife to come along, but we all know that he's henpecked. Well, he brought her to our deer lease. The rest of us didn't like it much. He started hanging curtains in all of our tents. Said the camp lacked a woman's touch. Then came a look on her semi-beautiful face. He said, "This place smells like poo-poo." And she got out all of her aerosol cans, and now our deer camp smells like foo-foo. Well, if you are a deer hunter, deers are sensitive to scent. And all that crap she sprayed around made all of our deer absent. Well, that pissed me and the rest of us off, so we packed up all of our stuff. We told Jim to stay there with Jackie. We told him that we'd had enough. We broke camp and headed south, went about 2 or 3 miles. Then we heard some rifle shots. Then Bubba began to smile. He said, "You reckon old Jim done shot old Jackie? Think we ought to investigate?" Well, we went packing back up north and took a bite of that bait. When we got back to the old deer camp, we knew we'd run out of luck. There lay Jim, sound asleep, and Jackie with a 30-point buck. Well, as you guys and girls know, I'm known for my poetry, but I put together a top 10 countdown list for you about the top 10 things that you'll never hear in deer camp. And it starts with number 10. Number 10. Someone go get the Escalade. I've broken a nail. Number 9. Let's go home. We're all out of Zimas. Number 8. There's no game moving today, so fellers, let's all river dance. Number 7. Anyone have a spare pack of Virginia Slims? Number 6. The hunt starts at 7 a.m. sharp, but there will be a cappuccino and omelet reception at 6:30 a.m. Number 5, thing you'll never hear said in deer camp is, "I can't cook under these conditions. We're all out of cooking sherry." Number 4, we're all out of grenadine. "I can't make tequila sunrises without grenadine." Number 3, someone's going to have to make a tampon run. Number 2, who swiped my Vanilla Ice rap CD? And the number 1 thing you'll never hear said in deer camp is, "The grass here tickles my butt when I pee." Okay, everybody, I got one here called Bambi Was a Cartoon. It just busts my chops every time I hear somebody. I tell them I killed a deer, and there's going to be some idiot woman out there, usually a woman, will say, "Oh, you mean you killed Bambi?" I hate that. That's bleeding heart crap. I just hate it. So I wrote this one about that situation. You know, I was living up in Washington State back in them days. It was during the 80s. And I killed a big old buck and drug him by the antlers through the front door of the butcher shop, because that's where you get your deer processed. They cut it up into cuts of meat and wrap it up for you, and you put it in your freezer. That's just standard operating procedure up there, and just darn near everybody hunts. Well, when I walked in the front door, there's this old fat lady in there, and she had on a big old yellow T-shirt with a picture of Minnie Mouse on the front of it. And, you know, I walked in, dragging that deer, and she turned around and grabbed her Adam's apple and accused me of murdering Bambi. Oh, it pissed me off. But anyway, I wrote this story about it. And, anyway, goes like this. I bagged me a deer last season. I had him butchered at a local butcher shop. There was a gal in there with a Minnie Mouse shirt. In that shop, you could hear a pin drop. She looked at me with tears in her eyes, then she threw her arms around me. But tears were flowing and snot was flying. She asked, "Why did you kill Bambi?" I said, "Now calm yourself down, lady. And while you're at it, turn me loose. What in the cat hair's the matter with you? You're acting silly as a goose." I said, "Bambi ain't no real deer. He's just a cartoon on the screen." When that reality hit her, she started getting mean. She said, "No, he ain't. He was real, and he'd still be alive today. He'd live in the forest with Thumper." I just said, "No way." That movie was made in the 50s. That'd make him about 50 years old. I'm telling you, dear, there ain't no deer that lives that long, I'm told. She insisted that I was a murderer and was thinking about calling the law. Then I whooped out my hunting license. Then she began to squall. "This old gal's about to lose it. Please send someone with a net. This old gal's got the Walt Disney-itis. It's the worst case I've seen yet. She thinks all deers are Bambi, and all the rabbits are Thumper too. I guess all the bears are named Yogi, or maybe even Winnie the Pooh." I told her to get a grip on reality. Then I said words that made her mutter. I told her I really did love Bambi, especially with mushrooms and garlic butter.